Yeah, this is a great question or statement about the reasons why. And again, the
Waiting for
reasons
FMA
why,
Connects.
yeah, the reasons why matter and the reasons why differ
Quick
between,
plug. FMA Connects is amazing.
yeah, they
Encouraging
are.
females in FMA.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, what this comment from FMA Connects is saying is again, it's the very much about the reasons why, and the reasons why change, and the reasons why vary between people, and that's okay. And I think that's one of the things that we need to work on as an FMA community in general is that to appreciate and accept and encourage everybody's reasons why being slightly different.
Mm.
So I don't know.
FMA is one of the few arts, in my opinion, that you can enjoy from the community to the trade, all those things. It's karate. The culture is very different.
Hmm.
Taekwondo, the culture is very different.
Oh, yeah,
FMA, you come for the community, you stay for the training in FMA, in my opinion.
and lunge afterwards.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's when I went to that one FMA thing, FMA, and they skipped lunch. Thought it was a sin.
yeah,
I was like, "You're sacrilegious! How dare you?"
yeah. Got to eat that rice.
They wanted to go to a seafood spot. I'm like, I don't care where we're going. That's where the real training and community comes from. Is the
Yeah,
food.
yeah. That's where you get the actual stories and the conversation, and then you get to learn. You get that wisdom of the why from those who've been
Absolutely.
there and done that. Because I mean, there's only so much you can take in from like learning and drilling techniques, but when you really get the reasons uh, why the instructor teaches the way they do, and why they're teaching in the first place, that that comes in the conversations afterwards. And I think that's actually one of the big strengths that we run into with the online FMA community, especially the podcast community, is when we get past like the standard like interview of like who you were, what did you do, what did your daddy do, and actually dive into the reasons why and who the person is. Because if we're in an FMA forum, everybody does FMA and everybody has pretty much good understanding what FMA
Yeah.
is. But what makes it unique and interesting is getting to know the person who does the FMA, the reasons why, and why they like to and why they love to teach it. And that's important because that type of documentation is really important. It's actually one of the things that separates us versus the rest of the martial arts community, at least just in my own viewpoint.
I completely agree with that statement. I mean, Jesse from FMA Pulse does an amazing job at that.
Yeah, he
Like,
does.
everyone who watches FMA Pulse knows you're going to see an FMA instructor. They
Yep.
don't know where he's from. They don't know where he's been. They don't know that he got into this because it was his family or because the teacher of this art saved his ass in a fight. That's the stuff that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. And those are the stories that need to be documented. Not the treatises of technique and tactics, because humans figured out how to kill each other a long time ago. The tools
Way before,
change.
yeah.
Yeah. The tools vary based upon culture and technology, but the reasons why is what matters, and that's what varies, and the stories is what varies, and that's what's going to sustain it to the next generation. Because the problem that we run into is like we get the heavy dogmatic rhetorical approach of like the super serious. It lends to being just that,
Hmm.
and you run into like you miss out on so
Yeah.
much of the art. So, because like in my case, my primary FMA background, especially with my family lineage, focuses on the single knife because it's military related, it's combat related. Then we threw this. I got involved with a single stick later on, but when I got really introduced to FMA properly, that's when I started playing with like double stick, knife and stick, swords, and things like that. But again, that is based upon exposure. Now, several years later, the things I still go back to that I enjoy, the knife work is always my bread and butter. Single stick is always my bread and butter. There's certain things in FMA I just don't like. I mean, I don't like doing Daga Espada. Just I don't. I got crucified about that later else earlier, but the fact is I just don't like doing it. It's just
I don't like it
not
either.
it's not my scope of reality.
I like
But
having a free hand.
yeah, same. I like grabbing stuff. I like punching stuff. So now it's okay to have my opinion. But the problem being we run into like the scope of the FMA community is you have to like it all. But no, no, sir, I can like what I like. And that's okay, I think. So at least that's what I believe.
I agree with it completely, brother.
Yeah.